It might be impossible to think that someone who has broken your heart has helped you in your journey, but in their own way, they have. There's a reason some of the most beautiful songs and pieces of poetry are written in times of heartbreak, and why so many people write their most inner thoughts while dealing with the loss of a relationship. Heartbreak is life-altering. Breakups open your soul, split you in two, and leave you in a state of overwhelming nothingness. Today on Our Space, we see how we can work on being those complete individuals, no matter if there's heartbreak in our future. Someone help me. I'm losing my mind. Background. Me, 30 male. Her, 32 female. Met 5 years ago. Been together for the last of those 3 years. The first 2 were spent just casually dating. I love this girl. We do have arguments a little more frequently lately, but that's because my insecurity lately. See, about a year ago, I was going through a death in the family and I wasn't able to be there for her. We decided to take a break for a few weeks, mutual decision, and for me to get my head on straight. We talked often during those weeks, nothing deep, as we wanted to give each other space. Weeks after we got back together, after I pressed, found out she started flirting with a coworker. Went out a couple of times. Went down on him too. She showed me the texts. We worked through it, but I've always felt insecure as they see each other every day. Recently, a few days ago, we had a fight. We'd made plans and she canceled the day of. Cool, right? So I say, okay. She has a habit of doing so last minute and it annoys me, but whatever. So later we talk. I ask her how her day was, etc. She sends me a few pictures, and I see a restaurant in the background. When we meet later, I ask her about who she was with, and she doesn't exactly answer, but after taking it upon myself to look through her texts, I see a conversation with the same coworker talking about having lunch together at a very unique type of restaurant, the same that was in the background. I was so mad. I asked if it was him, and she repeatedly said no. I left. Went home. I woke up and saw I was blocked everywhere. I decided not to bother her as we both needed time to calm down. Today, I decided to look at her Facebook through someone else's account. It says she's in a relationship. Coworker's account says the same. For context, when we were together, she never once put in a relationship, but I didn't care. It's only Facebook. Suddenly, her and coworker who showed up single are now both in relationships. I'm going crazy. I've messaged her friends and everyone she knows who I do, but no one is responding. What do I do? I can't work, I can't eat or sleep. If she broke up with me, I'd be okay, but she just chose to do it in such a way. I need answers. I need someone to tell me what's going on. I feel like I'm starting to come off as a crazy person, but what am I supposed to do? Edit. Her friend just responded. She's dating the other guy, so yeah, 5 years gone. I just blocked everyone she knows. I don't think I want to see any more. Thanks, everyone. Taking way too long has one quick response. You say, if she broke up with me, I'd be okay. She did break up with you. She did it in a rude and hurtful way by ghosting you. Grieve the loss and move on. Once you are happily involved with another, she'll probably reappear to try and haunt your butt again. Don't let her back in, not even as a friend, because friends don't do that to each other. Yikes, OP. She didn't handle this in the greatest of ways, and unfortunately, we don't always get the answers we want or need. When this happens, it's important that we focus on ourselves and practice self-love. Be patient with ourselves. That being said, breaks are weird for me. I feel like if you're on a break, you're separated, and all is fair. That is, unless you've discussed what you both are comfortable and uncomfortable with the other partner doing while on a break. I think boundaries have to be discussed so that things are crystal clear, because a break can mean many things. Just ask Ross Geller. Update, a week later. Been over a week since I, 30 male, found out my ex-girlfriend and best friend of 5 years, 32 female, had been having a long-term affair with her coworker. She ghosted me when I found out. First things first, you people saved my life. I admit I was having very dark thoughts during those first few days, and the words and sentiments of you Reddit folk helped me trudge along. I still come on to read your words when my resolve wavers. Blacksmith OK 4686, Baby Caddy Hooligan, Cassie Lifts, Man of War, you guys saved my effing life. Thank you. I finally told my family and friends. Some of them knew already, as our friend groups were sort of blended after 5 years. To say my mother was hurt was an understatement. She loved my ex, thought I'd marry her. I'd taken your advice and just went completely silent. I purged my house of everything that reminded me of her, everything she got me or left here, packed it into boxes, and asked one of my friends to deliver it to one of hers. I wanted to be proactive. Couldn't sit still. When my friend got back, he told me he gave her friend an earful about how I'd been treated. I didn't ask him to. Apparently she was apologetic. She supposedly didn't know my ex cheated. Yeah, right. I think she just doesn't want to look bad now that it's coming out ex is a cheater. No way she didn't know, but whatever. Yesterday, a blank random Facebook pro messaged me. Hi, me. I got the stuff from Talia. I get you're probably mad at me. I get that I effed up by not breaking up sooner before things happened, but I think it's really cruel of you to tell people our business and even return things I got you as gifts. They were meant for you. There is no reason to be so ugly about everything. This is exactly why I did not say anything. I really think me just disappearing will help you move on faster. There's no reason for it. One day, I hoped we could both look back on our relationship fondly as something that helped us become better people. I hope you can reach that point in yourself. Ignored and blocked. She can F off. I've got my appetite back. I still have moments where I just can't help but break down, but I feel anger more than anything else. I'm burying myself in work, and most of my interactions with people involve a good deal of faking it, but I'll get there someday. What worries me is my anger. It's easier to just vent here. Here I won't get looked on with pity or tiptoed around. Thank you guys for real. It's totally normal to be angry, OP. It takes time. You have to feel the feels. I think you did the right thing by blocking her. It would have only hindered the healing experience. It's best to cut it right off. Update 2. The Ghosting Cheating Ex. Recap. A couple of months ago, ex-lover of 5 years cheated on me, then ghosted when I confronted her. I went strict no contact. She tried to incite a response in me with messages from blank accounts. I didn't respond. Now, a few days ago my dad passed away. Somehow she found out. On SM, I have received such an outpouring of support from my friends. And some of them are friends with her friends. My friends already know not to talk to me about her or share anything about me with her friends. I'm not too fazed. It's on social media, so she was bound to find out eventually. My mother is broken. Ex, who has been blocked by my mother and family, decides to text my mother. She goes so far as to imply that being the caring person she is, she'd like to offer my mother her support and attend the funeral. Guess who with? If you guessed AP, then you're right. Why? Because he will support her while she's supporting my mother. This effing sucks because my mom loved her and they were close until she cheated. Mom didn't bother responding. She just told me what happened. Told me she doesn't want her there or to reach out again and will leave it to me to handle because she doesn't want unnecessary drama after all this. Now I have no choice to confront her. I also know comforting is giving her exactly what she wants. What should I do? What should I say? I have not dealt with it yet, but I plan to. Edit. She actually did say that she wants to offer my mother support without risk of hostility from me. Yeah, because effing ignoring her is an attack on her apparently. Edit. Mini update. Thank you all so much for your condolences. I'd have loved to answer each one of you individually. Thank you all for the bottom of mine and the family hearts. I took all of your advice into consideration. At the end of the day, regardless of the harsh way I personally want to put my ex in her place, I think I see things my mother's way. I don't want any sort of conflict or ill will or cruel words spoken about the circumstances in which I'm putting Dad to rest. I just want peace until after the funeral. I decided I'll not respond to her in any way. I've also spoken to my family through the group to tell them about what happened. Understandably, many were angry and wanted to rip her a new one. I pleaded with them to restrain themselves. That we needed to stand in solidarity and agree we will all meet her attempts with complete silence, and to also set as much as possible on their profiles to private in case she's creeping. I think I got all of them to agree if that she reacts out to them, we'll just ignore and block as many times as necessary. Won't even acknowledge she exists. Everyone's so protective of me now, so there's a new unity to the family that's really humbling. I'll speak to the funeral personnel about the ex to make sure in case she does show up, she'll be turned away. I'll go to the police station tomorrow to at least inform them just in case. Maybe they can advise me as well. If a restraining order is my only resource, I'll take steps in that direction. Lastly, when I told my friends about it, they weren't surprised. Turns out, X is posting about being devastated by the loss of Uncle Dad's name, or some such BS, and is soaking up the pity like a leech. My friends had already agreed amongst themselves to keep this under wraps to not stress me out. They volunteered to be spokesmen and spread the word literally. Everyone that she isn't welcome and that we'll have security to keep her out if B. They'll also run interference for me the whole day off. I was really touched. They insisted on it, that I should just focus on me and they'll take care of everything to do with her. I told them I don't even want to hear anything until after the funeral. Right now, my priority is making sure me isn't affected by anything else. I'm staying with her until the funeral. Right now, my priority is making sure me isn't affected by anything else. I'm staying with her until the funeral. She's a really religious woman, so she doesn't want to be too harsh with the ex and says she's forgiven her, or trying to. So the best she can do is continue to just ignore her. I'll update after the burial, I think. Thanks for showing me not to react emotionally. God bless. Yeah, you're right, OP. I don't think a funeral is the right time or place for anything like that. And good on you for staying level-headed. That's a huge sign of growth and healing. I'm so proud of you, and obviously your ex didn't have the right intentions when she reached out to your brother. She just wanted to soak up all of the attention and get a reaction out of you so she could find some way to talk to you. She sounds hell-bent on getting the last word. It should have been more respectful of her to just give her condolences. Shame on her. Update 3. She's flipped. Wasn't going to post another update, but so many who've weighed in have asked for one, so here I am. Look through post history to see how this all came to be. My dad's funeral service was beautiful. One of his close friends asked if he could put up the time and location on his social media so my dad's friends out of state could see and attend, and they did. Fortunately, I did not hear a peep from X in the days leading up to it, and I didn't care to. Her parents did attend, though. They didn't stay long, and they mostly spoke with me, but I hovered around her the whole day just in case. Not a word mentioned about my ex. They were cordial with me, and I didn't get the sense that they were unhappy with me, but they had the tact not to talk about anything else. In the last few days, I've gotten a few friend requests from people in X's camp, but I ignored it. Yesterday, my friend, same guy I asked to return her crap, shows me a message from Talia that is basically spewing hate my way. I'm immature, pathetic, trying to make it my ex's life miserable. I'm shaming her. I'm not who she thought I was. How at the end of the day, I'm just bitter, etc. I don't understand, as I've done literally nothing to this woman, and as I'm not talking to Talia, I ask him to extract what is this all about, and she sends him a screenshot and a YouTube video shared by one of our shared friends over to her. I will say one of the content creators is named after a fox. I guess he, shared friend, consumes this type of content on YouTube and he found my story. Honestly, I don't mind, it just felt weird. It was my dad's funeral and posting the Facebook message that named Talia that gave me away. An act of pettiness, I guess, decided to send the video to Talia captioned, "Sound familiar? Why he didn't need to tell me to talk?" It didn't take long for it to reach X, and holy crap. Out of curiosity, I decided to accept one of 2 of the friend requests, and yep, this is why. I've gotten pages of drivel calling me abusive for not having the courage to face the woman I'm besmirching but dragging her name through incel echo chambers, and how X is beside herself that I not only denied her the opportunity to say bye to Uncle, my dad, but talked openly enough about her private business that is trickling into her workmates' conversations. That, as if that isn't bad enough, I'm psychologically attacking her by encouraging strangers on the internet to bash her. Her accusations honestly got under my skin, and I responded only to ask what about the post that wasn't true. Tried to explain that I first made the post in a moment of immense emotional upheaval and panic, and I just needed advice from people who suffered through the same. That I did not reveal anything to expose her or myself to strangers, but she was adamant. Told me my ex apparently cried when she heard some of the comments and that her new boyfriend wants to settle things with me. Made me laugh a little bit, to be honest. That the least I could do is reach out to my ex and apologize to her. That, if I had unresolved issues, my ex is willing to have a sit down and closure, but I didn't respond. I'm tired, honestly. I don't care about talking to her, and I honestly don't think I have to justify making an anonymous post on Reddit to sort through what was a difficult time for me. What struck me most is that according to the cousin, who I honestly feel was in contact with the ex while talking to me, was more offended at what commenters said than what I did. She couldn't pick out a single thing I lied about. Not one. But F that. I've already blocked her cousin. I've done nothing wrong, and I don't think I have to justify anything I've said or done. Least of all, her. Edit. Thank you for all the support you've given me. These last few months, this community has been among my most resolute supporters, giving me strength with my own stories of betrayal and perseverance. Even some of the harsher advice was incredibly useful to me. I truly believe if I had every last one of you in my ear a year ago, I'd have been spared so much pain that I now believe in part was self-inflicted. You're the best. One of the best things I ever did for myself was ask you all for help when I couldn't tell anyone else. We have a reaction from Tailbone77. Tell all of them to go F themselves. Hard. You owe no one anything, and proud that you got away from that crap relationship and even crappier scum of the person. Move on to better things now and decent people in your life from here on out, and my condolences to you and your mama. Iceman2161172 says, the ironic part is no one would have known it was her if she hadn't self-identified herself to the anonymous story to her friends. This probably stopped her from continuing to tell her version of the story to her friends. Time to move on, my friend. It's actually embarrassing how much she's still hung up on you and talks about nothing but you to your mutual friends. Clearly, she has some crap she has to deal with, and there's guilt and shame eating her up a bit. She's trying to save face. And she's saying all of this because she can't stand the fact that you're moving on and trying to live your best life. People get really mean when they see the other people happy. You're right, OP. You've done nothing wrong, and you absolutely do not have to justify yourself. She definitely didn't when you were in your darkest moment. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And while you're at it, please let us know what you thought of today's content. See you soon.